How about, can we get an India update as far as health, where she's at, what's the deal?
Yeah, obviously she had surgery last Tuesday. Yep, she had surgery last Tuesday to clean some stuff up, and she's rehabbing day to day. Hopefully we get her back at some point. I don't know when that is. It definitely won't be Thursday. So she's rehabbing, doing a really good job with Stacy and Sherry, and trying to get herself ready to go.
You know, we talked to Joni a lot of times about consistency and chemistry, whatever. Are you now in the position, the race with only 2 games left in regular season, it's just about winning, you know, so to speak? Things change a little bit. I don't want to use the word urgency, but you can tell me what words to use, like.
Take care of the basketball. How about that word? We knew Auburn was going to come out and just pressure us from the time we got off the bus until the game ended, and that's what they did, and we just didn't handle it very well, and we didn't like it. And our challenge now is to respond differently because, you know, you're going to face a team Thursday that plays really well at home and has people who are capable of pressuring us and getting up in us, and we've got to take care of the basketball. That's one of the ways that they score, and we just coughed it up, obviously, a lot of times. And so, is it chemistry at this point? Like, do I think that our team has great chemistry? Yes, I do. I thought the pressure really bothered us on Sunday, and we never adjusted to it. Not only at the point guard position, it's easy to identify, you know, our turnovers there, but I thought they denied our wings. I thought they denied our forward man. So they took us out of our offense.
And when you look at the film back, and of course I did watch a little bit of it because I was also softball, listening to your post game. How does Barker only shoot 2 shots? And I know maybe that's no easy answer because I just don't think that's all on the point guards.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, part of it, they denied her really hard. They were physical with her. I think there were some challenges with how the game was being called as it related to her a little bit. But I think she's got to figure out how to get herself open. Like, it can't be a surprise that people are going to try to take her out of the game. And so, again, all of it, they completely took us out of our offense. And that was Janiah, that was AC, that was everybody. Yeah.
You had beaten Auburn previously, and now you're pulled out to play a team that you've also beaten.
Yeah.
When you play a team twice in the season, is that any more difficult? Is it easier seeing the same? Or, you know, what was that like?
Well, I think you have a feel for who they are and what they do. I think in both of these cases, it was so long ago. You're talking about the 2nd and 4th game. That feels like forever ago when you look at our conference and how many games we've played since. And so they're totally different teams. So while you do have some familiarity with it, we're talking about it and teaching it and preparing for it like it's brand new, because it is. Tennessee's a totally different team today than they were when we played them in January at the beginning of the year.
Even though it is a different team, can you still look at that first game you played against them and see what you did well? I mean, does that kind of help you in preparing for Thursday?
Not really, because India's not on the floor, right? And then the other thing is Tamara Key, who only played 13, maybe 14 minutes in that game against us, because obviously last year she had blood clots in her lungs and didn't play. And so when we faced her in January, she was just getting her wind in her. She was just kind of getting herself back in shape. She's now playing almost 22, 23 minutes a game. So the game is different for them than it was then, and it's different for us than it was then. So do we watch it? Sure, but are we taking things from that game, commonalities? We're a different team, and so are they.
What did they, you know, the way they're playing right now, what do they do well that, especially with it being on the road, that you guys are really going to have to focus on?
Yeah, well, I mean, number one, Tamara Key is a lot more aggressive. They're getting the ball to her at her spots. Rakia Jackson is obviously someone who can score any way she wants to, anytime she wants to, and she's really playing well. And then they've got people on the perimeter who stretch you because they shoot the ball really well. They get to the free throw line a ton of times a game, almost 18 a game. And so they just put 5 people on the floor who constantly put pressure on you offensively. They're big. They've got length. So defensively, they can bother you because of that length and cover up gaps quickly. So we've got to make sure we have a ton of movement and get them moving, get them guarding us in space. We can't do a whole lot of standing.
I know as you head towards this final stretch of games, you talked about taking it one game at a time. Do you feel like your players have put any expectations on themselves or put any additional pressure on this final stretch?
We'll find out today. I mean, as of Sunday, they had not. We obviously didn't see them yesterday. So we'll go, every Tuesday we go in and we talk about the week and we talk about what's coming up. We obviously the tournament is next week, right? And in some ways, we are our backs against the wall. Do you feel that way? Maybe we need to win. We need to win these games, but it's also if you start looking ahead too far, you miss what's right in front of you. So we have to find that balancing act of talking about what this week means. How do we close out their, regular season and conference play? And also moving forward, what does that do for us?
Coming off that second half of Arkansas offensively, and then the Auburn, I guess, how do you get back to that? Just the way you guys were playing offensively.
Yeah, I think again, it's being able to run our offense. I can't say enough how just stagnant we were and how disheveled we were on Sunday, and it was because of Auburn's pressure. It wasn't. It was Auburn's pressure, and so it makes it really hard to run your offense when that's happening, and it's also hard to run your offense when there's 29 possessions where you don't have a shot at the basket because you've turned it over.
I guess the flip side is about your defense, because last time,
Yeah.
you mentioned Key wasn't there, but you guys did a good job on Jackson, and my guess, some of that has to do with Key, but I guess there's also, your defense is gonna be a different challenge this time.
Well, yeah, I think that even in our losses, our defense has held. I mean, Vandy's 49. I forget what Arkansas is. Even Sunday, I mean, we're defending enough to win. Our offense is what we've got to get figured out. Now obviously Tennessee, they average 72, almost 75 points a game. So yeah, you've got to be on it, or you can look up and the scores, out of control. But we've got to figure out some things on the offensive end.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks.